All right, YouTube, here we go. Update number 13. Just washed the truck yesterday, drove it. Got roughly 1,500 miles on it. I get asked all the time, is it a 6.5? No, it's just a little four-cylinder small block. They think the tailpipe means it's instantly a 6.5 or a 6.2. No. They don't believe me. It's the same ordeal with the blue truck, but I just let them know that the tailpipe speaks for itself. 6.5 can't sound like this. How's it going with it? Well, fuel mileage is great right now. A few small little hiccups. The other day, I finally got another parts truck out of here. Got an LS 6.0 out of there. So my buddy wanted it, and we did some wheeling and dealing, and I picked up a 1985 Dodge pickup. It is a 5.2. Just got it running. It's for my daughter. Use my little car hauler over there, a little 20-footer. You're wondering what the hell does that have to do with anything on the update? Well, so when I first started driving the truck, it would hang in between gears, almost like a runaway. So I turned it up just a hair, and it already had a safety collar on the power screw that was bent a little bit. I do have it one tooth advanced, and the stock was in a stock setting, stock pump with 60 horse injectors and an H1C turbo. Well, I can't thank my 4BT guy enough here in Knoxville. So I went and I picked up the Dodge, and between first, second, fourth, and fifth, the truck would just tow remarkably. The big 4-core radiator I knew was going to be somewhat of a hindrance to me, just because it's so big. I just didn't want to get rid of it. It was brand new. So I thought I had all the air bubbles out. Well, I didn't. Third gear was gutless. No matter what I did, you'd floor it, it'd do nothing. And I'm pretty decent with the 4 cylinders. A buddy in Knoxville, I mean, he's just a wizard with them. But I went and decided I'd tow that Dodge home. Against my better judgment, I did it anyway. I always felt like I had a little bit of runaway. So I'm going down the interstate with it, going up a little hill, 5th gear, downshift, 4th, and that's it. The motor locked up, and she's just sitting there. Luckily, the trailer brakes were working good. We got off to the side. Truck started right back up after I checked it. It wasn't hot, but I could hear like bubbling, and it got the paint on the exhaust manifold to warp some, and that bothered me. But I limped it home. I was pretty disgusted, but I limped it home. I knew I should have not towed with it, but I did, just to try it. I mean, what do I got to lose? Pull the old blue Chevy back out, and I could drive it and rebuild this again. So the moral of the story is he told me I need to turn the power screw way out. The injector's in there, and the advanced timing, and put a boost gauge on it. Yes, I know I should have already had one. Yes, I know I should have already had an EGT, but I didn't, because I figured we were in a stock setting like the blue truck. So I back it off, and I put a boost gauge on there, and I back it off a hair, and I still have 0 boost in 3rd gear, and it would blow past 20 pounds of boost in 4th. Never even could get it into 5th, just because, I mean, the boost gauge would just blow past 20 PSI. First and second, first would get 10, second would do 20, and I got back with him again, and he's like, you really need to back it way off. And I backed it almost a whole turn out, give or take, and now I can get 15 pounds of boost in 3rd. It's a whole different truck. Drives different, so I wonder what fuel mileage is going to be like with that, because it was literally just always black smoking. And I knew something wasn't set just right, but I just kept tinkering, just slowly messing with it. But I was going the wrong direction. I made a mistake. I have to deal with it. The other issue is ARP head bolts. Never been a fan of them. I always liked the H1, the H11, especially when we used them in the Power Strokes. But you can't get them. I've got the updated purchase for this also. And the rear valve cover on this was leaking. So in the midst of being broke down, I've got oil spewing out of it. And I'm thinking maybe it's the injector leaking. It's hot. I stuck my finger in the fluid. Of course, that burned like hell. But I just couldn't figure it out. And I had read several months ago about ARP head stud bolts after driving at a short different distance on a Cummins. You need to re-torque them back down to 125. Never had an issue on the 6.0 Power Strokes. I couldn't tell you how many I've built with the ARPs. Just dozens of them. Well, the tightest head stud nut was 90 foot-pounds. That was the tightest one. It's supposed to be 125. So I retorqued them all down, went through the sequence, redid valve lash. Valve lash was perfect when I put it together. This, after checking it again, it's in left field without a glove. Redid valve lash again. And then I noticed when I put that back on there, that back perch on there, it was the screw, the bolt would go in slightly crooked and not seat all the way. It was actually hitting the bottom. Yes, they're aftermarket purchase. So I put washers on all of them with new O-rings, and it's so far no issues. The only issue I got is I get a little bit of smoke out of the vent pipe. Not quite like blow-by. I thought I had instant blow-by after the interstate ordeal, but so far so good. It definitely runs a night and day difference. I did get it to burp coolant. Took about another quarter of a gallon of antifreeze. Again, totally different from how the blue Chevy went together. I mean, we literally slammed it together and had no issues. This one I took my time, other than the painting, which I don't ever show the underneath of the hood to hardly anybody. I don't feel like hearing the whole it doesn't have any power bullshit. So, but it's got plenty of power. Like I said, 10, 15 pounds of boost in third gear now. Fourth gear, I can still rake up to 20 pretty quick. Fifth gear, it'll hit 20 with no issues. I haven't really got on it hard in fifth just because of, you know, I'm worried that I got blow by, but it seems to be doing a lot better. I got about 200 miles on it since that ordeal. We did just get my daughter to drive the Dodge today. That was awesome. It's been sitting for a very long time. That makes me happy that it was all worth it, that the motor went dead in that truck. So I still get the comments about the tires. They're so smooth. I mean, absolutely smooth. I couldn't have got a free set of tires that are this smooth, and they do good. The other issue is the cab has now slid back about a ½ inch from where it used to be. I used to be able to get my hand way up into there. I don't know if you guys see that with the reflection, but so I don't have 4 low right now. I got to move it forward. And I got a rear axle seal leak I had to fix. So I fixed that the other day. Whoever put the axle seals in when the previous owner had the shop redo the whole drivetrain. I really don't know what they used. Did they use a chisel and beat it in? Who knows? It was atrocious. But she's putting along. The best I've got was 22 point something with the pump fucked up or messed up. This last fill up was with some of the towing in there on the Dodge and putting around the yard. I've been filling the bed full of firewood and moving it. It was 21.73. I keep all the receipts, so when people call me out on it, it's right there in black and white. The speedometer is actually accurate in fifth. That's the only gear it's accurate in. And the actual miles that you're going, it's almost spot on to my Gaia app, GPS, and the interstate markers. What else can I tell you? Rock chips are all over it. I don't know how they're getting on the front of the fenders. Who knows? And I did get the tail lights in the deck, the tail lights and the tailgate to start working. I did mount and balance one of my military tires by hand, and if you've never done that by hand, well, it sucks. But you could see the bed is a little twisted on there. That little spacer I put in it, that's the tallest one, so I need to pull it out and cut it down. But I literally, these 1,500 miles, it's either hauling firewood or it's taking me to work. And the other thing I don't really like about this off-road design, no, the DIY 4x4, I stand corrected, is when you load this truck down, that pinion, oh, you guys can't see with the glare, that pinion literally shoots so far upward. Oh, it's so atrocious. I couldn't imagine going a long distance with it. But just around the yard, it's fine. What else can I tell you? I got some more of the polishing compound off. Interior's doing good. All that work for a custom radio, and I don't ever listen to it. But I put this on here because this thing, the way the seat is designed, the spring has gone down a little bit, and it feels like something ramming into your bottom end, if you catch my drift. So to each his own. It's not my flavor, but I did put the boost gauge. I just mocked it up so I could drive it around. Like I said, fourth gear, you can literally rip it 20. What did we do? We started at 94,000. Does it show? Yeah. 94,000 and some change. 94,003 something. And so far so good. The dash looks sick in here. It's still killer. Can't ever get in touch with the guy, but that's it. Other than the retorquing of the head and all that stuff, I still have no complaints, no regrets. The power steering pump intermittently likes to release a little bit of fluid on the ground, which drives me bonkers. Not a big oil leak fan, but that's it, guys. I mean, I appreciate everybody telling me it looks good. I get thumbs up going down the interstate, and I can go down the interstate at 65 miles an hour. Blue Chevy, you'd be revving that thing to get her up that high, but this one, I'm cruising at 65. And now that the boost is all set right, I think this Friday I'm going to try to hit 75. See how she does. Definitely could use an add-a-leaf in the front leaf springs because they're a little soft. But anyways, that's it, guys. I'm digging it. So let me know what you think. Till the next one.